Good morning, pregame crew. Happy pre-Thanksgiving. It is Wednesday, November 23rd, 2022, 6:21 a.m. Mountain Time, 8:21 a.m. Eastern. I'm Charcow Lori, and you're at the pregame show. This is a show where we talk recipes. Just kidding, maybe. But our main goal is to talk charts and get you ready for the trading day. I want you to go into the trading day armed with as much data as humanly possible. Now, the minute that I turn my microphone off in about 35 minutes or 30 minutes, as soon as I turn the microphone off, new data enters the market. So you have to incorporate that new data and synthesize it to come up with possibly a new thesis. But the goal is to say, okay, here's where our support is, here's where our resistance, here are the more likely scenarios. So that's the goal for today. And also to just say hello to my friends and visit with you just for a second before I have to get back serious and look at charts. It's been a wonderful week. I am in a terribly good mood. So I'm going to tell you right now, you may get tired of my bubbliness. Good morning, Night Truck. Oh, I need to do an audio visual check. Hey, Rachel, Andre, Sal, Mike, Matthew, Samwise, Mal, my girl Tammy. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, Bob. You know who you are. I'm not going to call out your other name on YouTube. Hey, Basque, Andre, Sodi, Adam, Tess. Hey, Paul. Yep, John Deere had earnings this morning. They beat. Hey, Homebody. Thanks, Wave, for being here. Hey, Diego. Good morning, my turkey girl, Jessica. Sure, Rachel. I'm going to go back to the top. And I'll get started officially in 7 minutes at 6:30 a.m. I'll get started with indices, commodities, crypto, movers and shakers of the day. But right now, I'm going to do chart request. Going back up to the top. Brett, you killed that trade. Killed it. And so if you were part of the pregame show yesterday, if you were part of the midday show yesterday, midday, I got Gerard Butler up here defending this line on the hourly, yesterday's high. So yesterday did break over Monday's high, but not convincingly. It's still a double top. They've got to push through and get through these bears, and it's not looking good at the moment for Apple bulls, but it doesn't mean it's game over yet. But yes, that was a great trade midday on the midday show. About here is where the midday show was. I commented that we dipped below yesterday's low, and then we had retraced about 50% of Monday's move and increased the odds of having an engulfing candle or an outside bar. Keep it simple. And sure enough, we closed 5 pennies above. So right now that's still a double top, Brett, and I would consider this the biggest threat to the market today. I thought about not even doing the waiting table because of I think that it is skewed to one side, and I don't think that this is necessarily the story today. We have FOMC minutes. So congratulations on your Microsoft and Apple positions, and congratulations mostly on following your system. That's way more important than money. Money will follow when you follow your system. Hey, Andre, you've been all over EE. My goodness. All over it. Great trading. 30.82, you're coming right up against the all-time high right now. 30.65, 30.82. So just caution out there, but congratulations on your conviction muscle as well. BBWI. They had earnings. People are loving candles and lotions that make me sneeze. We got over the 41.29. Next resistance 42.57. This is a very healthy pattern. Can you see what it is? Let me tighten it up a little bit. Oh, yep. Look at this Adam and Eve reversal pattern. Do you see it? The pointy part is the Adam part, and I won't explain why that is. We may have children here. And the round part is the Eve part. That's a bullish reversal pattern. It confirms over 42.57. Hourly RSI is overbought. That doesn't mean a thing because this is fundamentally related, so remember that. We're up and over that 41.29, 4 hours overbought. Daily is not overbought. We're running into the daily 200 MA. I'd feel better as a bull if we'd clear it. If you're in long, I'd stay in long as long as those 5-minute EMAs are below you. XLI, sure, it should have a good day with deer. Was deer popping? Yeah, it should be popping. Okay. This is such a constructive pattern here, this rounded bottom. Again, look how often it's doing that. Just steady waves of buying, riding the 15-minute EMAs and hourly EMAs. XLI and Dow have been super strong. And Dow, I have to comment on it when I'm commenting on XLI. We've talked about this weekly broadening formation. I said I was going to leave my line there, and I didn't. I lied. So we have a potential broadening formation forming on Dow, and that would be a warning sign for me if we got up to this trend line and was unable to get through. However, overall XLI 176, we have a double top at $100.97, 176. So if you wanted to top fish 101, I wouldn't fault you, but you have a high risk of getting stopped out with this strength because it's counter trend. GLDG. Hey, Jeff, are you looking at my notes? BBY is a short for me today. It's a very high risk short, but yes. Okay. Yeah, hit the like button. I'm doing this on day before Thanksgiving, and I have my recipe up here. I am brining my turkey as soon as I turn the mic off. Look at that. Jack Daniels, maple syrup, peppercorn, oranges, apples, the rinds of them. Oh, I can't wait. So we'll start the brining process at 8 for anyone headed over to my house for Thanksgiving. That's what you're having. And homemade cornbread dressing and other goodies. GLDG is running into the daily 200 MA, has an upper wick of profit taking, $1.28, $1.25 double top. Tough. $1.18 is support. If you want to keep riding the wave, or if you're in the wave, I'd stay in long as these hourly EMAs, are below you. I'd be very careful up here in the nosebleed section. It's 6:29. I think I'm going to get started on the show. I'm reading notes, just make sure that I didn't miss anything in TCG. Rob just asked what's Thanksgiving about, who's thanking whom. Mary, you're starting yours as well. Okay. This is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori. If you want to give me a follow on Twitter, I would appreciate it at Chart Gal Lori. If you want to check us out at chartguys.com, that'd be great. But this link is the even better place to check us out because we have our Black Friday sale currently going on. Can you tell that I sold Estee Lauder in college? Can you tell? And let me tell you how this Estee Lauder Renutritive was going to make you look 20 years old. Kidding. Okay, so the Black Friday sale, you can become an official TCG member. It's active now until November 30th. The code is BLK22, and it's also pinned here at the top of the chat right there, Black Friday sale. We have not raised our prices in 4 years. Prices will be going up next year. You can currently get $100 off the cost of an annual membership, and you get the TCG Trade Keeper Indicator. This is the indicator I developed with our programming team. It is designed to help keep you in a trade. Limited edition TCG beanie, member orientation, Q&A. So you can sign up, and then Dan did a webinar last night. You can also check out that webinar. He does a fantastic job of showing you what we do in TCG. And what we do is we teach you how to fish. We teach you how to trade. We hand out fish. I post trade setups often. Dan does live trades very often. But that's not the purpose of TCG. The purpose of TCG is to provide education regarding price action and technical analysis based on our combined years of experience. And let me tell you, it's changed my life. I was a member 6 years ago, so I joined. And now I'm a partner in TCG. I ask a million questions, and I always had helpful people at every turn helping educate me on technical analysis. I have been trading for 7 years. So 1 year swing trading, no wait, yep, and 6 years of day trading. So it has become my absolute obsession, and I'm glad you're here. And what I do here every morning is I go over indices, commodities, crypto, movers and shakers of the day. It's really hard for me to monitor chat. We have some awesome moderators in there. They will help answer questions because I'm going to rip through about 25 charts in 25 minutes, and I am juiced up on holiday energy. So let's go. So we have the FOMC minutes coming out today at 2 p.m. Eastern. And these are my notes, and I typically don't show them. It's Thanksgiving week, but they're typically reserved for just TCG members. I copy and paste those in the room when I'm done. Also, if you're interested in my chart setup, you can click on the link below in the video description to receive a PDF explanation. No matter how many times I say that, people are like, what are the yellow candles? They're inside bars. Just click on that PDF explanation. So let me go back to my notes and just kind of start off the day with, there was no de-risking at the end. I guess that should have a hyphen. At the end of the day yesterday. That was notable. When you look at the end of the day yesterday, look at this run, right? We closed right in here. There was no de-risking. That was very notable. That was some hungry hippo bulls. And what was even more interesting, not Wednesday. 1 second, let me find it. I'm almost there. We had some data drop, and I'm losing track. I think it was here. Yeah, here. We had data drop. The Richmond, listen to me carefully. The Richmond Fed data was released at 8 a.m. yesterday. When I say that is a historical non-event, I truly mean an historical non-event. Algos ran wild with it. Why? Because we're trading so thinly. Volume is down because of the holidays. So any type of algo computers that are still running this week that they haven't taken offline for the holidays, they're just buying stuff up and it's just running the market. And it can also do the same thing to the downside. We have very over exuberant reactions to data. Okay, so that was Richmond Fed whatever. Today is FOMC minutes. Typically a nothing burger because we've already heard what Powell had to say and they released a statement, but we will get the detailed minutes. If there's any additional hawkish data, so remember, and if I'm getting my data incorrect, please correct me, but the last time we had the FOMC meeting, the cooled off CPI data had not come out yet. So now, the FOMC minutes could be hawkish. They did not have that CPI data at the time. So they have since become a lot more dovish in all of their talking. But just remember, those minutes could come out super hawkish. If they do, what happened here with the nothing burger, Richmond Fed and whatever, could happen to the downside or to the upside today for the minutes. So in light of that, I have a strangle on, a futures option strangle that my plan is to not touch until the very end of the day. Unless it were to reach 200%, I would take one leg off. But otherwise, I have a strangle going on. They're frisky, low volume, FOMC minutes. Okay. Said all that. Hang Seng was up 0.57. DAX was pretty flat last time I checked. Let me look again. It's slightly red. So, all right, so I think we have our bearings for the day. Let me zoom back out. So this looks like a 4-hour bull flag. If you give me a chart like this for the swing report and I find a chart like this, boom, it's going in the swing report as a long. This is a classic long pattern for me. The squeeze has fired long. RSI is over 50, but not overbought on the 4-hour. And we're cooling off on the hourly. We have not lost the hourly trend. 4006 is a double bottom. Right now it's healthy consolidation, but I'm putting an asterisk there. Right now it's healthy consolidation. There are some warning signs on other charts like RTY. That's a classic diamond bearish reversal pattern that has now confirmed. So if you remember, you saw that I commented on this double top we had here on the 12 hour at 1867 and 1869, and I said, it's a top fish. Here, RTY, double top, EQ, 15-minute lower high. I said that at 3:40 a.m. So, okay, I see your question, Slow Devil. I'll try to get to it. So there are warning signs on lower time frames. So if you have a 4 hour that's bullish and an hourly that's bullish, and you have a 30-minute that's bearish, this and this trumps this. All right? So just remember that. So we do have warning signs on shorter time frames, and we had ideal top fishing setups this morning, but larger time frames, everything is okay. Lots of data today. We're running into the 4 hour 50 MA on RTY. Finish this one up while I'm here. Do you see how that 50 MA is just slapping price? You're going to want to see RTY over 1870 to get some continuation. I should probably add SMH here because semis were super important yesterday. Apple and semis were what I told y'all to watch that had to perform the first hour in order for the market to get going. And boom, boom, criteria was met and the market rallied. Okay, I need to go back. This is a potential 4 hour bull flag. You have resistance at 402175, support 394525, healthy chart. Don't get it twisted. Hourly EMAs are our friend and guide. NQ resistance is 11,793.50, support 11,720. Yes, the swing report is separate from this deal. The swing report, I believe, let me pull it up, is $6.99 for non-swing members, and it's $4.99. So basically, I'm logged in as a member, so you can see my annual subscription is $500. It's cheaper and discounted for TCG members. So you get a built-in discount. It's super cheap, and it's a great report every weekend that gives you the lay of the land of the markets, the sectors, and it gives you individual names either long or short. Okay, hourly EMA is our friend on NASDAQ and is in charge. This is the 12-hour chart. So I'm going to show you the two most important charts of the day for me. And everybody has their trading style. 11,843, gotta clear it. Have to clear it. 12-hour resistance, we have to clear it. And the other chart is Apple. We have to get through yesterday's high of day decisively and over that 150.91. You know what? I'm just going to do what I always do with Apple when I have a feeling. And we don't trade on feelings, folks, but I know the character of how Apple trades. It'll break resistance by a few pennies and then fall down. It needs to clear 151, but bulls would be happy getting over yesterday's high. That would definitely be a great start to the morning. Apple and NASDAQ 12-hour chart. Okay, that's what I'm watching today. If you want to know what the most important thing is, that's what I'm watching. And let me look at semis real quick. Looked at them earlier. This is such a healthy chart. God, that's beautiful. That's so pretty. Look at the 50 RSI holding. Well, that wasn't the 50 RSI. They're holding. Very, very healthy so far. So we're a little red compared to yesterday, but I want y'all to look at how this closed. That's just beautiful. That's a work of art. Look at this volume. And I noted in the room yesterday before we closed, look at that volume coming in on SMH. People are done with things just getting beaten up, and they're getting a little bit, getting some happy feet. We have PCE data. So let me say that again. PCE data next week and GDP. Two very important pieces of data before our next and final FOMC meeting of the year. Super important week next week. So everybody's getting happy, and these charts are beautiful. We do have some very important hurdles coming up. 22290 or 223 are your resistance for semis. Very healthy. If semis go sideways all day long, that would be a huge win. If they keep running, that would even be a bigger win. But sideways to up is a win for bulls. And that's the case for any chart that ran yesterday. If they go sideways all day, that is a huge victory because yesterday was a big move. AMD, not... Slow Devil, I saw that you asked back there on 4 hour. Nah. So on the cup and handle, let me tighten it up and make sure I'm not. Nah. This is what you want to see on a cup and handle. You want to see a clear uptrend, a rounded bottom, preferably a double top, and then a bull flag over here for the handle. That's what you want to see. Okay, I'm all over the place. Let me go back to, I covered RTYYM. Again, I am in a holiday mood over here. YM, it's like a Bob Marley song. They got no worries. No worries about a thing. 4 hour bull flag. VIX, 4 hour bear flag. Okay, so YM resistance, we got over the 34,000 psychological. 34246. I'm going to put alert there because that's a pretty important resistance. Just right inside that level right here, back from August. That's a pretty important level. So YM is strong, potential 4 hour bull flag. Keep it simple, stupid. You're not stupid. I am. I'm not stupid either, but what is wrong with my chart? Lost my focus. So we can come in and touch this 8 EMA and still be healthy on YM. Your support 33658. All right, we did that. VIX, potential 4 hour bear flag. You can't get any more textbook than that. That is bullish for the market. US 10-year having 4 hour 50 EMA problems. Hourly 50 EMA problems. That's bullish for the market. Hang Seng is green. DAX is slightly red, something we need to just keep in mind. Oil continues to give up the ghost. So Bitcoin. So if you don't currently have a position on Bitcoin and you're like, I want to trade this. If you can trade it bearishly, this is a potential 15-minute bear flag. And at 15-minute lower high, I guess you could say it was set at 16602. So I think that you could top fish this 16650, your current support. 16467. If we get some meaningful consolidation in this space, it'll be interesting to see if it weighs on the market. Market's still coming back here. Ethereum potential 15-minute bear flag as well. So in my notes, I had, and remember I typed this about 3 hours ago, or two hours ago at least. Bitcoin potential 30-minute rising wedge. I could really see it on the 30-minute. And what a rising wedge is the tiny higher highs without follow through. I see people every day saying, we got a rising wedge. Well, if your rising wedge is getting 5% follow through on your higher highs, that's not a rising wedge. That's called higher highs and higher lows. You really need to look at what percentage of higher highs that the chart is achieving. It needs to be tiny, tiny, tiny. When you have big moves, that's a healthy, healthy, healthy chart. So these higher highs without follow through, it was not healthy. That's grindy. So I was looking for it to fall apart, and we're currently getting that. Okay, gold. We have data out. We have jobless claims out, but that was a while ago. Let me see what we have. Let me go to my handy dandy chat room where everyone helps out and keeps you up to date. So at 9:45, we had the composite flash. Well, that's not now. No, we had durable goods. So it just could be a technical break. Don't always have to have a reason. Hey, Derek, you're late? What are you talking about? That is 3 demerits. And could you hit that like button for me? I'd greatly appreciate it. Well, that is a pretty extreme reaction. Do y'all... Okay, this is it. Here it is. This is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. We have jobless claims that came out. Okay, let me say this clearly. These are the same jobless claims that come out every Thursday. Every Thursday morning. And unless it's big, a big miss to the upside or downside, we rarely have a reaction. Thank you for proving my point, Gold Chart. That just shows how thin this market is and how these algos are just going nuts. So just if you need a reminder about how volatile today could be, please go visit the Gold Chart at 6:30 Mountain Time, 8:30 Eastern. Go visit that sucker and look at it. So don't, just because it's low volume doesn't mean it necessarily has to be boring. And the rest of the day could be totally boring. And that's okay too. But just be prepared and don't think that it's a gimme boring day because of holiday low volume. Thanks, Andre. This close talking thing, I don't know why I like it so much. Okay, gold. Gold, hourly downtrend, hourly 50 MA, just hitting price, karate chop to the throat, karate chop to the throat, karate chop to the throat. Thank you, Andre. Thank you, Homebody. I appreciate that. So that's why the market's coming down. Jobless claims. We want to see the market and economy slowing and inflation slowing. And a sign of that is having more people unemployed. If you can be gainfully employed and we have excess jobs out there, that means that we're not slowing down inflation. So ES coming down at this point is just a factor of that jobless claims being a miss. No, wait, we had more jobless claims. That should have been bullish. See, and that fundamental data, what I just did right there just proves that fundamental data, just trade the charts. It'll keep your life so much simpler. All right, so gold hourly downtrend. Wait, I didn't give you large time frame. Everybody is still waiting for that daily high or low. I'm like this. Like, I'm tapping my fingernails on the table like, where are you, bulls? Nowhere to be found. They need to get over 1751 to prove something. If they get over 1751, I'd feel more comfortable as a bull looking for that daily high or low, and even more comfortable over 1755. Until then, bulls have proven nothing. Oil is super weak. So y'all know, if you've been here a hot minute, you know what I teach or what I try to share is that when we push up on these short squeezes here and we wipe out the order book, same thing here on that Saudi news, and then they said it was fake. You just zip through it like a hot knife through butter. And that's why oil is falling down right now, falling down like Uncle Drunkle at Thanksgiving dinner. It's falling down because there's no support in this area because of that fast short squeeze the other day. So your next support besides psychological levels, I guess you could say a prior support could serve as current support, 7759 and then 7527. Nat gas is bullish. Okay, I'm embarrassed to admit something. I already talked to y'all. I don't know what stuff in a bowl is. ASMR, like I had to Google that. I had no idea what that meant. So pretty funny. Y'all teach me something all the time. Oh. No, this is too steep to be a broadening formation, but this is typically what you look for in a broadening formation, where you have higher highs without a lot of follow through and lower lows without follow through. But I would say this current higher high we have is a little too steep for broadening formation. But if I'm a nat gas bull, I would see that and tighten up my stops. And I have had a bias bearish, so I have to just avoid nat gas because there's the noise out there that colder weather here and there, and that's why it's bullish and whatever. And I've heard a lot of fundamental stories on CNBC this morning at 3 a.m. And if you were up with me, they were doing stories on there's a tanker out there loaded with LNG, and it's just such a shortage out there. So we got a lot of fundamental headlines. So just be a cautious bear, and as a bull, I would tighten up my stops. No, my brother-in-law calls himself this. He has a shirt with it, Drunkle. What a nice label for yourself. Okay, so we did Apple. We beat that dead horse. We need to get over 150.42 to prove something. Otherwise, it's a daily double top. Intraday, you have a support at 148.38. We need Apple, NASDAQ, and semis to perform again today to see continuation. Amazon's got a problem. By the way, I know that y'all probably get frustrated with me that I can't get to all your chart requests while I'm live, but that's not the purpose of the pregame show. The purpose of the pregame show is to give you the macro, what's going on, what economic data is coming out. Here are the indices, just 50,000 foot level, and then give you some tickers I'm watching. If you desperately need your charts, questions answered, we have 3 live streams minimum every day in our chat room. So as soon as I turn the mic off at 7 a.m. Mountain Time, in 8 minutes, we have someone go live for approximately an hour and a half in the morning. They go over these macros again, and then they do all of the individual chart requests. So just remember that we don't ignore you in TCG. If you need technicals, we give you technicals. But in here, we just have a very compressed time. So Amazon's got a problem, and it's not Drunkle. It's 95.02. It's already getting over yesterday's high. Well, good for you. But dealing with 95.02 could prove to be a bigger problem. But the fact that it's over the hourly 50 MA has me a little more bullish Amazon. And then I'm going to skip to Tesla. And Tesla's having a bullish morning. They got an upgrade. And I stand behind this potential daily falling wedge. So, sorry about these resistance lines I have drawn in here in support. I want you to be able to see the daily falling wedge. I think, and I have not gotten into the Thanksgiving wine yet, so excuse me if I can't spit this out, but I think the risk to reward is good for a potential long swing into next week. Now, clearly, hear me again, risk to reward. Now, I'm not saying that the long would work, but I think this bounce could be the start of something on Tesla. It's a counter trend trade, high risk of getting stopped out next week. So it's something I'm going to evaluate for potential call verticals for next week on Tesla. I like Tesla long today, and I like Tesla long for a swing. I want it to get a candle close above the hourly 50 MA during regular trading hours as step one for me to even think about that scenario. And then we got to get over, this is what the line was earlier, 176.76. That's a pretty tall order. It's got to get over Monday's high. So we'll see how it fares. Back NVIDIA. Diego, I don't think there's a lot of meat left on the bone for SoFi. When it lost 477 yesterday, that was the trade. But I may have time to look at it. Okay, NVIDIA. What a day. My word. They have a clear resistance. I think I got that from the hourly chart. Yeah, 162.66. We have a double top in that area. So I would feel comfortable shorting NVIDIA in this 163 area, but only if the market is weak. Only if the market is weak. All right, I'm going to look at SoFi for you. I traded it yesterday. That's why I knew 477. Y'all, if you are looking for a trade setup, put this trade setup in your playbook and then just paper trade it and see if it works for you. We had a clear 52-week low, all-time low, 477 on SoFi yesterday. Excuse me, the low was set in October. Yesterday, I posted in chat, SoFi, we're at the all-time low. SoFi testing 52-week low right here. And I said that at 12:23 p.m. my time. Snow was a monster yesterday too. Okay. That's not what I meant to do. So I said that at 12:23. That is right here. Okay? This is the benefit of being inside the community. You see posts like that, you could take trade setups, 4% to the downside. So the trade setup is when you have a name that is tapping like glass on that all-time low, which it had tapped on it earlier that morning, and it breaks through, it sends off these algos, whoosh. Just think of a whoosh. We'll call this the whoosh trade, okay? And you have this waterfall cascade effect. So your stop order to stop order in is at 476. And then if it can't break down further, then you know they're buying it as a double bottom. But this is a trade setup. All-time highs, you stop order in to buy on a long if it breaks a new all-time high. You can sometimes get a whoosh to the upside, same thing to the downside. And that's what happened with SoFi yesterday. Almost 4% on that trade if you took it. I can show you because we have a whiteboard that shows all the stuff that's happening today. So FOMC minutes, 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm getting tired. Okay, I need to get to these names. BBY. BBY, we talked about it yesterday. It was a great long. The ninjas, if you took it. And then we talked about this little sneak resistance over here. And we put it on our chart. I haven't touched this chart since yesterday. 79.88. We hit 79.96. So I think you have a clear short here on BBY at the daily 200 MA with a daily double top at 80 bucks. If it breaks through 80 bucks, you jump out of there. Just get out of there because the bulls are going to run you over. It's a high risk short. NEO daily inside bar yesterday. It was getting some bullish push from Tesla correlation. You have a little support here at 997 and it's getting over the hourly 50 MA. I like NEO for a long today. So I would look for a potential pullback buy. XOM and XLE, I like to the short side. I like it to the short side because this oil chart is ugly. Look at that. We talked about no support in this area. So XLE is, now they don't run together one for one. However, I think you have a nice top fish setup on XLE against 92.62. Now XOM against 113.30. If you could hit that like button, there are currently approximately 300 of you viewing this and only 122 likes. If you could hit that like button, I would greatly appreciate it. Sorry I have to ask y'all every day, but once I get a lot of likes and then the next day I don't get them, then the algos say, oh, video's no longer relevant. People don't like the style. So if you could hit the like button, I would appreciate it. FOMC minutes at 2. Use stop losses. And happy freaking Thanksgiving. And kids, freaking's a bad word, but I can use it today. And you can too, kids. Don't let your parents spank you or punish you if you use freaking today. All right? Use stop losses.